Welcome to Work With Me, the show that is focused on untapped talent, unsung heroes, and getting people back to work. I'm here with Lindy Fox, fashion designer from FIT. Hi, Lindy. How are you?
Good, good. I'm glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about your journey. Where are you from?
So I'm originally from California, born and raised on a farm. And so I've lived here for about 7 years, but I feel like California was just yesterday.
And how did you come to New York?
So I moved here to work in the fashion industry in the business side. And that was about 7 years ago, and I worked for 5 years in the corporate business and production side of fashion after I had graduated with my first degree from a fashion school in Los Angeles.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about FIT?
Yeah, so I now go to FIT, the Fashion Institute of Technology here in the city in Chelsea. After I had worked for about 5 years in the industry, I really realized that I wanted to finally do my dream and my first love, which is design. And while I do like the business side of fashion, my heart really beats for the creative side of it. So I decided to leave my day job and dive in full-time to FIT and do their 4-year bachelor program as an adult learner. And it's been really rewarding. I am really drawn to FIT by their curriculum. I had really studied the curriculum and made sure that it was the right decision for me. And I love it. I think it's an unparalleled program, and I'm about halfway through it now.
Okay, and where do you draw the inspiration for your designs?
So, so far, you know, I'm in school is a great place to kind of hone your aesthetic and really learn about yourself and what kind of comes out when you get to the drawing table. But so far in the beginning of my journey, I really have drawn on my roots, my California roots, and growing up on a farm specifically there, and the color palette and the kind of richness and organic elements that surrounded my life growing up, but also with a mix of urban details and an urban sensibility, because I got to live in Los Angeles and of course now New York for a while, so that definitely influences the way that I think about wearability and movability with my designs.
And who do you have here with us today?
So today I brought 2 of my models. This is Yazi and this is Stacy. They were kind enough to come with me today and showcase 2 of my outfits from my latest collection called Luxe Utilitarian that I got to show this past weekend. Actually at Parsons. I got to show a capsule collection as part of a competition fashion show against FIT versus Parsons. And FIT won the competition, so that was really fun. And these ladies definitely did a great job on the runway showcasing their looks.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about what they're wearing today?
Sure, yeah. So Yazi right here is wearing a double sleeve jacket with this kind of copper metallic. And as you can see, she has like these style lines that reflect an organic sensibility. And she's got a wool pant with kind of a half apron skirt over it, and then also this tote bag, which is the first handbag I've ever made, drawing on my childhood for that. And then also in part it's inspired by the urban city life that I now lead for 7 years in New York. And she's kind of the working woman. She's on the go. Her clothes can't be too fussy, but she of course cares about what she looks like when she's running around town. And so the shapes and the easy wearability of it is definitely inspired by New York, or really any kind of urban lifestyle. And then part of the accessories come from some redwood, driftwood that I found over my Christmas break when I was home in California, in Northern California, visiting family. I kind of went to the beach and I collected these beautiful pieces of redwood, driftwood that are just everywhere on the beach there. And I really wanted to bring that wood texture and that organicness into the collection by way of the accessories. So you'll see it in the handbags and also in the jewelry.
Okay, and can we see the other handbag too?
Yeah,
as well?
so this is Stacy, and she's wearing a floor-length kind of duster coat, wool again, very easy to wear, but very clean lines and very urban sensibility to be running around all over town. She's got a drapey, romantic jade color Georgette dress, and then she of course has the accessories, the jewelry with the wood that I collected, and I also put some wood on this handbag that I made. This is the second handbag I've ever made too, so that was really, really fun and a rewarding process to try my hand at accessories when I've only really been doing jewelry and apparel my whole life. This was my first time doing handbags, so that was fun, and it's always rewarding when you put your hand to something new and you like how it comes out.
Are these all projects for the school, or can you actually purchase these items?
Yeah, no, you can't purchase. Well, yeah, I'm not selling it.
Beautiful. And where are you ladies from?
I'm from China.
From China, okay.
And I'm from South Africa.
And from South Africa, so you have an international thing going on here.
Yeah, I in my capsule collection last year that I did too, I really wanted to have diversity in all my girls, and so I continued that theme this year for my collection that I just showed. Diversity to me is way more fun than anything, and my heart kind of beats for that, and I just love to see what my designs can look like on every type of shade and every body, and I just get a lot of gratification out of that, and I feel like that's the way that people can really relate to what I do as a designer, so I hope to do that.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Work With Me. We are back today. I'm your host, Jessica Minhas, and I'm joined with Marisa Merliss, who is a fitness professional. She also happens to be one of a dear friend, a long time. She has seen me go through many seasons, and now you have sort of evolved through a lot of different seasons as well. She's a nurse, board certified NICU nurse, right? She's also an actor. She is a fitness instructor, a Melt Method instructor now, just recently certified. And she has an amazing story. And I thought maybe that's where we could jump in. It's just like this story of how you've taken something that literally would break people and really turned it into a career. So catch us up. Did I describe everything right? Is that because you're doing so many things?
For right now, yes, that kind of encompasses everything. I came to New York as a dancer. I had an opportunity.
And how old were you when you came to New York as a dancer?
I had just turned 24. I had an opportunity to be in a Broadway show, and I had a pretty severe accident where I was dropped doing a lift in a show. And
what does that mean? So you're doing a lift in a show?
Yeah, it was. We were thrown off balance, and I landed on my back. And
so your dancer your partner, I guess, is throwing you up in the air? Okay.
Yeah, and we just lost our balance, and the lift sort of went awry, which sometimes happens, unfortunately, with risky dance shows. And long story short, the injury resulted in 3 back surgeries and 3 foot surgeries over the course of about 3.5 to 4 years.
So between the ages of 24 to 28 or so, you were dealing with a broken back.
Yeah, I mean, my lowest disc was severely herniated, and that whole area was hypermobile, so the disc kept spinning out. I had major nerve damage. Numbness down my leg, weakness, and it just threw my entire body off. And so through that time, I was in New York with these amazing doctors, which is the hardest city to live in when you're going through any kind of physical challenge, because you've got to get up and down subway stairs and figure out a way to get around. And also, I was kind of on the top of the world. I thought I was coming to New York to be on Broadway, and then suddenly I couldn't do anything. And I couldn't do I had my nursing degree from college, and I couldn't do nursing, I couldn't dance.
Because nursing, you're on your feet.
You're on your feet for 12 hours, and that's also physically challenging in a different way. And I really didn't know what I was going to do, and I was introduced to some people who really encouraged me to get into modeling and acting. And
was that on your radar before? I mean, obviously you wanted to be a Broadway star. Is that sort of the direction?
I mean, I wanted to have a career as a professional dancer. Doing commercial dance, Broadway was definitely on the radar, and I was just totally open to doing company dance, commercial dance, and musical theater. And suddenly that was just all not going to happen based on what was going on with my body. So then it became, okay, well, how do I just become well enough to function? So the acting and the modeling, luckily I was referred to a couple different agencies, and that stuff just sort of picked up right away. When I turned 25, I was able to do some alcohol ads. There was a season where I was either playing a bride, doing an alcohol ad, or playing a student, and a little bit in TV and some modeling stuff. And that really helped get me through that little season. And
so for those 3 years, though, you were going to auditions, and accessibility is something that I don't think comes up enough in New York City. This idea that if you're limited on your mobility, you're really like up a creek without a paddle, so to speak, because it's just really hard. Subway stairs.
It was very, I felt like my life was like a really difficult fifth grade word problem. I was like, okay, I can walk this far, I have this much money, I have this much energy, and I'm in this much pain. So how can I get to the places I need to go efficiently? I figured out the places I would eat, the snacks I would pack. I mean, and it was it was a lot of life skills that I learned during that time and just perseverance that I wouldn't have built under any other circumstances in New York City. So it was a really challenging time, and it introduced me to this whole other side of the industry, where I ended up doing dancewear modeling, and which I still do.
Dancewear modeling.
And fitness modeling.
What is dancewear modeling?
Well, just for clothing companies that carry dancewear, and I
so like
Capezio. And I did some stuff for Reebok and for Women's Health, and I started to get hired for fitness jobs, fitness modeling jobs, or modeling jobs that they wanted somebody to be doing movement. And I could do a little bit of movement. I couldn't necessarily dance to be in a show because of the pain that I was in, but I could sort of create shapes and create movements. It was just this like dire time of trying to use what I had to, just be able to survive and make a living and stay sane and make.
But you were able to do it for three and a half years. You just did that, and I mean, that alone I feel like is a success, a little mini success on this long journey that you were on, to be able to just do that with a broken back and I mean, really going to rehabilitation is like a full-time job too.
So I would go through seasons where I'd go through when it was like a fresh recovery from a surgery where I wouldn't be able to do anything. And I luckily had amazing agents and managers who just stuck by me and were totally okay with me taking time off. And I really feel like I ended up with them for a very specific reason, because a lot of agents would not have been as patient or stuck by me the way they did. And then also it brought me into the fitness modeling became my niche as I began to get better and as I began to recover.
And so that is a niche. Like for those who are watching, who are wondering, okay, I thought there was only one type of modeling. That's the ones that I see, like where it's very young teenage girls and high fashion. But there's actually a bunch, right? What are the different types?
Well, there's fashion modeling, there's commercial print modeling, and like lifestyle modeling. Which tends to be a lot of fashion models who get older and are still modeling for ads.
Meaning older, meaning over the age of like 22.
Exactly. Everything is
aspirational.
Relative in this industry. But and then fitness modeling I really loved because I had such a struggle with my health during that time. It was pretty cool to be able to promote products and that were based on health and promoting being fit and well and healthy. So during that time, it actually brought me into this whole new realm of the fitness industry, because I was doing a lot of workout video shoots, and I had always, when I was younger, like I used to get up and do like Mousercise on the Disney Channel. I was such a big nerd. I would wear my headband and my leg warmers and like
I didn't
my
know that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I would I'm not a morning person, but I would get up to do Mousercise at it was like the kids' version of like Jane Fonda at the time.
So you're not a morning person, but Mousercise got you out of bed.
It totally got me out of bed, if that tells you anything about my weird just sense of priorities at that age. But anyway, so I ended up doing these workout video shoots and had a great introductory to the fitness industry. And even if I'd never had health issues, there's just a certain point with being a dancer. There's just a lifespan a dancer has to deal with.
What does that mean? I've heard that said before by some other friends who are dancers, and they say like, well, if my body lasts this long, and I always got confused by what that meant.
Yeah, it's slightly different for everybody. I mean, I had a great recovery from my surgeries. I wasn't well enough to go and do 8 shows a week, but I definitely
8 shows, that reference is to like Broadway,
Broadway
right?
shows run 8 shows a week. And a lot of regional theaters also run 8 shows a week and national tours.
A lot.
So it was hard. I had this decision, like I came to New York to be a dancer. I love dance, and do I want to stay in this industry in a limited capacity because I can't dance full time like I came here to do, and do something I love, or do I want and take care of my body, or do I want to leave the industry altogether because I can't be at the top or be at the level I once wanted to. And because I was doing the fitness modeling at the time and was introduced to the fitness industry, I decided, okay, you know what, I love this so much. At the end of my life, I'm not going to regret continuing to go after my dance career in the capacity that I was able to. So that's what I did, and I had a really nice career and got to do several shows. I was in an off-Broadway show. I did some regional theater, did some commercial dance.
Wow.
And you know, I ended up getting...
You're like the comeback kid.
A little bit. Just scrappy. It's not always, you know, pretty, but it was a hard, messy road. But, you know, I definitely just kept fighting back and had a really nice career with dance. And I just... I did my last show in the fall, which was really fun. And
What was the last show?
it was called Broadway Varieties.
Oh, right,
and
okay.
It was really fun. I actually, I was a competitive baton twirler, and I got to twirl on the show and dance. I was a competitive baton twirler growing up, and I kind of got
Along
to...
with the mouse.
Mousercising.
Right, mousercise in the mornings, competitive baton twirling in the evenings.
So very
As one does.
eclectic. As one does.
Yeah.
So you know, fast forward about 5-6 years into my being able to dance and be involved in the fitness industry as a fitness model and doing videos and stuff. I had a pretty rough situation come up where I was attacked by Central Park waiting for the bus, and
Wow.
the guy grabbed me from behind around my neck and punched me several times. And long story, and he ended up running off as the bus came up, and which was the saving grace of the situation, and that I was not so terribly hurt, but it definitely threw my whole body into a tailspin because of my prior injuries. My body responded, I think, differently.
Was this daytime or nighttime?
It was like 7 o'clock at night, so it wasn't even
Wow.
like I was in a safe area at a reasonable time at night, and it just was a fluke thing. And so this threw my body into a whole huge tailspin. And I was sort of at the height of my, dance and fitness modeling career, and I was still doing a little nursing on the side to keep up my license. But it just sort of derailed everything again, and I was like, why and what? And so it was a really rough recovery, and my body got into these weird compensation patterns, and we couldn't figure out.
What is the compensation pattern?
Basically, your body gets out of balance. So certain muscles, like your spine, gets out of alignment. Certain muscles overwork when other ones lie a little dormant and lazy, and so your body just starts to not be in proper balance or alignment. And
So you get the initial injury, and then you can even have subsequent injuries just from this compensation happening?
yeah, which is really frustrating because
Yeah.
it's really hard to get your body back into a solid, centered place. So at that point, over the course, I was in terrible chronic pain for about a year and a half. And again, at this point in my career where I thought that things were I was transitioning more into fitness, things were moving in a great direction. I had aspirations for hosting my own workout videos and started teaching more. And then suddenly, just again. So, but through that process, I really learned, I was introduced to things that I would have never probably looked up otherwise. That was how I ended up meeting the woman who created the melt method. And
What is the melt method?
it's actually a self-care technique where using softballs, or a couple different balls, and a soft roller to stimulate the connective tissue and help rehydrate stuck stress or dehydrated connective tissue in the body.
Whoa. So what?
So basically, we were talking about those compensation patterns. Yeah. It helps decompress joints. It helps bring balance to the neurological system.
So if for those who are watching, if they are in this would be for people who are in chronic pain?
People who are in chronic pain, but also just people who want to enhance their athletic performance, who want to recover from a more minor injury.
Okay.
It helps the body rebalance itself.
Wow,
And
that is cool. And it's non-invasive, which is really...
completely non-invasive. And the
really
great
nice.
thing about it is you don't have to cause pain to get out of pain with using melt. It doesn't cause pain. So I worked with the woman who created that I'm still working with her. And it was the thing that finally broke that cycle of chronic pain and got me back to be able to teach again and do the fitness modeling. And I didn't really think I'd be able to dance again, but doing this show in the fall was just an extra bonus. And now I am hosting my own workout videos for a network called Kinetic. .com.
Wow.
So
So we can go, where do we go to see them?
It's kinetic.com, which is, it's a live streaming network.
How do you spell it?
QINETIC.
Okay.
.com.
Okay. And we look you up.
Yep.
Under Marisa Merliss.
Yeah, I'm one of their Q coaches. And,
oh my gosh.
And then,
so cool.
Yeah, and then doing fitness programming for some studios, some new fitness studios, helping them create their classes. And I'm back to doing some of the fitness modeling and dance remodeling. And yeah, doing a little nursing on the side, like I said, to keep up my license at New York Presbyterian Cornell in the neonatal and pediatric units. So, but yeah, I mean, I really feel like going through all of those terrible struggles over the years brought me to all these things that I'm now able to use to help other injured dancers and people struggling with pain. I'm actually working with the cast of Matilda right now. We're helping them learn about the melt method.
Little known fact, isn't there somebody special on Matilda as well in the cast?
Yes, my husband is.
Oh, your husband, yeah.
husband,
Your husband
yeah.
is her husband is a Broadway star and producer. And so that's really cool. You guys are working together as well. What comes to mind a lot when I hear your story is just like this, you know, a lot of people would have said, like, thrown in the towel and been like, okay, I broke my back, and now I've been attacked, and it's messed up my back again and my body. You know, how am I ever going to do this one thing in which I need my body so much? That's the tool that you use the most in your work, ironically.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I'm just hearing your story, and I would think, yeah, I would just like give up at that point. I'd just be so frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, being in pain is terrible, and I think also part of what keeps me healthy is working out. So I was like, if I could make that part of my profession. It is a little scary sometimes because I'm like, okay, is my body going to be okay? Is it going to be all right? But through all these different avenues I've had to go down, I've figured out what to do. And I think the empowering other people to be able to help themselves in the same way that I was empowered by other people who helped me with these things that I've learned about, it kind of makes it all okay and all worth it. So I think that's the driving force for me that really helps me keep going with all this.
You mentioned something that I hear tossed around a lot, self-care.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what that is and then show me what that looks like in your day-to-day as an example? Because I think that's such a huge part of health that gets overlooked. I'm in the mental health space, and we talk a lot about self-care. I'm notoriously horrible at it, but I would love to hear what your definition of it is and what it looks like for you.
Well, and when you say you're notoriously horrible at it, I think we're all notoriously horrible at self-care at times in our lives.
Thank you.
So yeah,
that's another self-care.
So it's really just being kind to yourself, doing what you know your body needs, and slightly different for every person.
How do you know that?
Well,
how do you know what your body needs?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is, we all need a balanced diet, nutrition, a certain amount of exercise. We all have different needs and different taste in what we like to do as far as working out goes. And and also the amount of sleep you get, boundaries emotionally, socially, with people in your lives, all of those things.
We need to have a whole segment on boundary setting.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
We can work that out together.
Especially for New Yorkers, I feel like boundary setting with relationships. I'm never by myself ever in New York, and what that looks like, even with our time too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. It's a constant process, especially as, it's not. I'm sure you can relate. You don't have a 9-to-5 job. You don't go. We don't go to the same. I don't go to the same office every day where I can, make my lunch and know that I'm going to sit with this person or not. You know what I mean? It's not that black and white. But I think as time goes on, really paying attention and taking note for yourself on what foods make you feel good and what foods don't, and how much sleep you need. I love Melt because what it is it's taking. Sue Hitzman is a cranial sacral and neuromuscular therapist.
Can you say that slower for us?
The woman who created Melt is a cranial sacral and neuromuscular therapist, and
I didn't even know that was a job.
Yeah. It's her techniques, her manual techniques are amazing,
Wow.
and
Okay.
she created the Melt method as homework for her patients to really work with the connective tissue to rehydrate it and help people feel younger and be out of pain. So the nice thing about it is you can do it on your own. And there's videos that go along with it and tutorials, and there's a book. And so, you know, I've been able to do that on my own, which is very empowering. You know, you figure out, even just within that, I figure out, okay, if my back hurts, I'm going to do this. If my shoulder hurts, I'm going to do this. So
you've really incorporated that into your day-to-day.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And even if I don't have a lot of time, there's even like foot treatments that I could do that take 2 minutes that I'll do for myself. And that's been a huge thing. And, you know, just taking time for yourself. And, you know, I don't have children yet. I do have a husband. But I think learning...
I don't have children yet, but I do have a husband.
He's going to kill
I
me
think
for
we
that
can all
one.
relate to that one. Or the opposite could be true, too. I'm a husband. I do have a wife.
Yes.
I don't have children, but I have a wife.
But, you know, taking enough time for yourself. And
so boundary setting, scheduling, it sounds like, listening to your body.
Yeah.
Eating well, working out. I struggle with that one. I just don't, I just really...
Oh, you need to
I
find
feel
do
so
something
much
you love to do.
better when I'm out, but I struggle doing it. Marisa, where can we find out more about what you're up to? How can we follow you? How can we get involved with the Melt Method and take your classes and all of that?
Well, I have a website, and my class schedule is on the website at www.marisamerliss.com, M-A-R-I-S-A, 1 S. And then Merliss, 2 S's, and in my last name.com. And then I'm on social media at Marisa Fit 5678.
5678, get it? It's a dancing reference.
Yes.
So that's on Instagram, Marisa Fit 5678 on Instagram.
And Twitter.
And Twitter. Marisa, thank you so much. I wish we had more time to like chat through what your day-to-day looks like, and maybe we can do that again another time, and you can show us maybe in the studio and teach me. Teach me what I need to know. On camera. Thank you so much again. I'm Jessica Minhas for Work With Me. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.